And so it's so interesting to think, like, if you didn't have restrictions, what would you ask for? And really think about that, because how do you know the answer's no? In 2019, I went to the Quest Expo, and that was a self-directed IRA company, and every year they threw an event. And wow, what a great place to think of when you need money. Go to a self-directed IRA, company. That's where people are investing retirement money, but they don't have a deal to invest, So going to those groups, it was amazing. Martine actually made us a shirt that said, "We have deals, need money, ask me more." So people were just walking by handing us cards.
That's awesome.
So it was just amazing. Well, when you go to events that are out of your state, people just share more. And so we were having a side conversation with an investor, and he was buying all these mansions. Like, he was mansion rich. And I'm like, how is this happening? We started the same year. And he's like, easy. I will find a $4 million mansion. I'll offer, pretty much like half off, like $2 million or $1 million. He's getting extreme discounts on these mansions. And then he would ask for seller financing. And I'm like, so the seller will finance this mansion? Tell me more. And he's like, well, they're mostly business owners. They understand, like, it's a larger property. So, they're more willing to work. And it was just like a little seed of knowledge. So I went home. I told my friend Ryan, who's also an investor, agent as well. So I'm like, hey, I heard about this. And he's like, interesting. And he just pulls the laptop out and pulls up Zillow or MLS, one of the two. And he's like, let's try it out. So he pulls up the $1 million homes and just starts calling the agents, and almost everybody said yes, they would seller finance. And it just blew my mind. Like, never thought, like, okay, well, we can't buy all these mansions. So,
can you?
like, yeah, what are we doing here? So we thought about, like, okay, well, if we got one fully furnished, right, then we could do corporate retreats. And this is 2019. So we were closing January 2020, right before COVID, right? So long story short, I thought I was getting seller financing on this large property in Glen Ellen, also known as the Retreat. They said yes to seller financing on the phone, but when we, got into it, it ended up being a divorce situation. They had to sell. Wife wants the money. So they were open on the phone, but not after the follow-up. So I'm just like, man, well, there goes that dream, right? Because we were making offers fully furnished. We even wanted the wine bottles. Like, we wanted it all. And it offended them at first. But, the question was, well, what can you do? And so we got it fully furnished, but they couldn't seller finance. So I told Ryan we couldn't do it. And he's like, you haven't even asked any of your lenders yet. And I'm like, well, we're buying $100,000 deals. Like, we use private money for crack houses, like, or like very low, affordable properties. Like, this one was $800,000. And I just thought, like, that's so much money. It is so much money. And the first lender, Ryan was like, you haven't asked, so try. So the first lender we asked said yes. And it was just such a moment where you're like, wow, I can't even believe I said we couldn't do it. Like, we had never asked for it. We never asked to, think about buying mansions to begin with. And so it's so interesting to think, like, if you didn't have restrictions, what would you ask for? And really think about that, because how do you know the answer's no? Right. Or why would you think you can't do it, right.